In this video, traders, we're going to look at how different moving averages do different jobs and how we pick the right moving average for the conditions that we're in. Stick around. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Alright, so on the screen here in front of you, I have a selection of moving averages. Just for clarity purposes, we've got the 5-period moving average. In fact, you know what, let's just close these off and then you can see them as they come on. 5-period moving average there in white. Then we've got a 10-period moving average in that kind of orangey, yellowy color. Then we've got a blue moving average here, and that's going to be a 20-period. We've got a 50 period there, and we've got a 100 period there. Okay, so what I want to kind of highlight, and at the end of the day, guys, you know, you can have variations on those different numbers. You can have a 5, a 10, 12, and it's similar to a 10, etc. But you get the idea. We're going from a fast to a slow one being the higher number because that's taking more pieces of data, so it's much smoother. A lower number is only taking, so the 5, for example, is obviously taking 5 days worth of data. It's the average of 5 days. It's going to be very, very noisy. So as we can see, if we put them all on here, we can kind of see that, you know, literally it's a bit messy when they're all on there, and I'm never a big fan of having so much stuff clouding the chart. And I've seen people that have multiple moving averages on, and I just don't think it's necessary, especially when price is so far away from it. You know, imagine if price is kind of here, we're on the chug up. This happens to be the Nasdaq, by the way. You know, the moving average over the 100 periods is irrelevant. It's what miles away from it. You don't even need to have it on the chart. You don't even have to have the 50 on the chart. So just bear that in mind if you're kind of using the moving averages. But anyway, we're in this situation now. Let's have a look at some of the differences rather than looking at the current situation per se. Let's see how useful some of these tools are. So the first thing is, let's look at the 5. So 5 period, super aggressive, super tight with price. It's one of those things that measures persistency of trend very well. So you can see here, after this little cluster of range bound conditions, when we broke out and kind of got into the chug mode, it was multiple days before we finally got a close below, and then a little bit of a shuffle, a little bit of a shake, and then back again. So, and we see this time and time again, guys. You know, when we have money flowing in or out of an asset, this could easily be gold or silver or sort of a currency pair or crude oil or whatever it may be. But we often see price running along the 5 period, and it's a very good way of gauging strength. If a price is chugging the 5 period, is kind of holding price, whether it's up or down, and it's containing price, it will often do it for a period of time, and then you'll get a few days of counter rotation, of counter move, and often it can be a change in trend as well, depending on the conditions, but it's super useful for that. Good for trailing stops as well. I've done a video specifically on the 5 period. I mean, look in this kind of down move here. Yes, this was very much a knee-jerk reaction, a lot of panic and stuff. But even after that, you know, when we started going lower and lower, it was very, very late on until we finally closed above that 5-period moving average. And admittedly, it's a lot more chopping and a lot more stuff going on because the one I'm filming this is the coronavirus. But it's useful for trends. It's useful for spotting when things have kind of broken out and are chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging. When it's grubby and stuff, of course, you know, there's no silver bullet, guys. There's no perfect thing, but it's very good for that situation. Okay, so 5. Let's move to the 10. So the 10 is, it's a bit of a funny one. I don't really particularly use the 10 so much. Obviously, it's just taking a little bit of a step back. It contains price a bit more. I prefer the 20, but if we look at them both the same, because they're both pretty similar, you know, really price will probably stay above the 20 period for the majority of the time in a trending environment, as we see here. You know, we have one little blip below. Other than that, it's just staying all above. A little bit of a kiss, so it can act as support. I think the 20 period is a good support level to look at when you're in a trending environment. It can hold price back. It can, even when you're chopping around like this extreme move from the coronavirus, we cause a little bit of a kind of throttling back before we continued on in this instance on that 20 period. I'm not saying that the 20 period is a holy grail, none of these things, but the way to use them is to use them as a kind of guide and go, right, we're pulling back a little bit deeper. You know, like this scenario here, we're pulling back a little bit deeper. Let's just see if the 20 period will hold. If we're looking, let's say we're looking to buy this and we're not in, or we're looking to add to it, you know, we're not looking to add high up because we're chasing the market. Let it retrace. Let's see how it performs at these higher moving averages, higher number of moving averages, slower moving averages. See how it gets to the 20, see how it gets to the 10. 10 isn't you can see here 10 does hold price, but you've got to be careful you don't fall into the trap, guys, of just putting in a moving average and going, oh look, it's magic, it's holding price, because you're going to find one that holds price, for any window of time you look at. But these are kind of some of the big ones that people look at, and I think they're quite useful. I prefer the 20, but I know a lot of people use the 10, and it doesn't matter. You just got to know how price responds to it. Some people like to see price just breaking through that 10, and then they say, right, when as it comes back, I'll take that. Some people prefer to see the 20 hold, that kind of stuff. But 5 is running on for quick persistency of trend. 10 and 20, or 20 specifically, really, is that kind of deeper pullback, multi-day pullback, then a continuation. That's what you're looking for with those ones. Right, now we go to the 50. So the 50 is, again, this is one that I don't tend to look at personally, but I know a lot of people do. From a swing trading perspective, if you're in a rotational type environment, it's a different types of environment here. So this is the same market, NASDAQ QQQ ETF, which is the NASDAQ, very much rotational. Even though it's an uptrend, it's rotating. It's doing kind of 3 legs up, 2 legs back, 3 legs up, 2 legs back. And that's holding on this, which is the 50 period moving average. So the idea is, guys, that you're trying to use the right moving average for the right job. And in these conditions, you can see, hey, the 50 is great. The 5's just being whipped around because it's not that persistency of trend that we saw earlier. The 5 works fantastically in here, and you could say, well, how do I know what works fantastically? Well, you just bring up the moving average and see which is being respected the most. If you kind of, that's the easy way to doing it, guys, just to cheat, if you like. You look up and go, right, well, the 5 is being respected so far. I will assume that's going to be the case until it isn't. So our risk management is so important. But if we go back to this rotational type move that's in a trending environment, still trending up, clear about that, we're in that channel, aren't we? But the 5 is almost useless because you're getting kind of back and forth through it, a little bit of up, a little bit down. So you don't start using that. You go, well, what is working? And you go, okay, well, is my 20 working? Well, actually, we're rotating either side of the 20. Maybe not. Okay, well, the 50 is being respected. And yes, you appreciate you've got hindsight here, but even if you kind of analyzed it about the second touch in and went, right, 50 held, I'm assuming maybe the third and fourth touch of the 50 will hold, the 5th didn't, I'm stopped out. So it's a little bit of a deep rotational type environment. Then we go to the 100. Now the 100 is one of these things where a lot of people say, hey, price is gonna respect and hold the 100, and a lot of people use it as a filtering process. Say, if price is above the 100 period moving average, they're going to stay long. If it's below the 100 period moving average, they're going to stay short. That's fine up to a certain extent. I think when you've had a market that's been a long time under that, then you're okay to kind of use that as a filtering process, especially if you're trading at stock. But it has its limitations, the 100, because of course it's not tagged very often. Look at this, we had a whole year where it's not even tested, and you could argue, well, it almost got tested as a place to buy. I think when the time that price gets down to the 100, personal opinion again, it's just my perception of it, I don't think it has that much value, because by the time price gets down to the 100, to me it's a 50-50 whether it's going to go through and convert into a kind of longer rotational down, or it's going to kind of hold and push back up. I think by the time price gets to 100, there's something that's happened fundamentally that's changed that stock or changed that asset, the underlying asset, that may well mean it overshoots. However, it's a good filter. It's good to get a good idea of what's going on. And again, you can go back to a 200 if you prefer that wider move and use that as a filter, or use that as a kind of guide. So those are some moving averages, guys. We've got the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50 and the 100. Useful for different scenarios. Rotational market, great for that 50 period if you're swing trading. Trending environment that's kind of got that deeper pullback, first, second deeper pullback, 20 period, great job. And a 5 period when you're really running in a breakout type mode, or a really persistency of trend mode, great on breakouts as well. If you're in a breakout, running on that 5 period, run, when it finally closes below it, then you can come out of the trade and take your profits. So guys, there's a mixture of moving averages. Whatever you do, keep the risk managed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.